obligated to help the less fortunate? In a self-conducted survey that I did here in class on November 7th, 52% of you guys said yes and 48% of you said no. So those of you that said yes, I want to let you know that although it is great to help those that are less fortunate, you are in no way morally obligated to do so if you don't want to. So I grew up in a family that has been through circumstances that we overcame, thank God, where we were actually really poor, and although we didn't expect help from anyone whatsoever, it was really nice to receive those gestures from people that did it out of kindness. I remember only having an ice chest in the house with milk in it and cereal from my sister and I. My parents wouldn't eat just so that we could. We would get sent to my grandparents' house almost every week, so we actually rarely got to see my parents growing up because they were working so much. My dad used to run 5 miles to and from work because we couldn't afford a car and we couldn't even afford a dollar for the bus. My mom we saw the least, and even right now I barely get to see her. She's always on business trips, and so weekends are very, very important in my family. And although we've been through those circumstances and although we didn't expect help from anyone, we really appreciated those people that did help us. So, today I'm going to talk to you about moral accountability, utilitarianism, and a person's natural rights. You are in no way obligated to help the less fortunate, and you're only accountable for your own feelings and your own actions. So, I'm going to talk about what moral accountability is right now. So, as currently stated that I saw on November 15th on Blogspot by an article written by R.C. Dozier, he states that moral accountability is derived from your own feelings and your own actions. So, essentially, what that means is you're only accountable for what you actually want to do and what you feel. So while I say that, your accountability comes from the voluntary choices that you make. So, Therefore, if you don't feel like you want to do something, and if you think you're only going to do it because society says you have to or because someone around you says you have to, you're not morally accountable for that. You're also only morally accountable for things that are within human capability. So if you can help a person, help a person. But just know that you don't have to. So I just explained to you what you're morally accountable for, and now I'm going to explain the concept of utilitarianism. So as described on the Internet Encyclopedia of Philosophy, utilitarianism is doing actions that will come out with good consequences, not only for you, but for society. So utilitarianism goes hand in hand with altruism, which can be perceived as selfless acts of kindness. Here's the thing. It's great to have the ideology of utilitarianism, but it only works so far. So if you are obligated to do something and you do it not out of basically genuine kindness and not because you want to, it kind of counteracts that, because then your own ethics and your own personal beliefs are being trampled upon, and those actions that you do will no longer be utilitarian because they might infringe upon your personal beliefs, and those actions can result in bad consequences and bad thoughts of the whole idea. So it's very anti-utilitarian. So I just explained to you the idea of utilitarianism, and now I'm going to talk to you and tell you what a person's natural rights are. So, as described on the website Youth for Human Rights, each person is entitled to food, shelter, and health care. Because of these three ideologies, we've come out with programs such as welfare, food shelters, shelters for people to sleep in. We've also come up with programs such as SSI, which is, I'll come back to it, and TANF, which is a temporary assistance for needy families, and SSI is Social Security Income for the elderly. Those programs are what give to the less fortunate, just in case you don't feel that you're morally obligated to do so, which you're not. And it's understandable that some people do need that extra push to get up and to do better in their life. I know that my family did. Without the countless people that did help us, granted they were family members, we wouldn't be where we are today, which is a lot better. So just know that it's not your moral obligation. However, every person is entitled to a certain way of living that provides them with livelihood and good circumstances. So I just told you what a person's natural rights were, and now I'm going to conclude my speech. My conclusion's a little bit long. So first I just went over moral accountability, utilitarianism, and a person's natural rights, and how all of those influence your choices. Helping the poor should not be a forced moral responsibility, but each person's individual choice. Everyone's morals differ, and everyone's ethics are different, and in no way should another person infringe upon what you believe is right and what you believe is wrong. No one can tell you what you have to do, and you're responsible for what you want to do. And essentially why I'm giving this speech today is because although we have the question to help the less fortunate, only do it if you think that it's within your capability and that if you think it's actually important to you. Because it's not going to be really helpful if you go up to a person and just help them because someone told you to do it. You can kind of tell when someone means to and what doesn't. So although I'm up here telling you that it's not your moral responsibility to do so, know that if a person needs help, you should definitely help them because every little ounce counts. And I'm saying that from a personal point of view. Thank you.